Hi, this is me, Amirabbas. I was wondering that why do a lot of people in villages consider leaving their own hometown and moving to cities? Do they have to, or do they choose to? I've been reading up recently and I just got that the majority of problems that people in cities are dealing with these days might boil down to this phenomena, urbanization, which is something on my mind that I wanted to make video about the main reasons and the consequences if this movement happens in a massive size. So, let's just get into it. Due to a combination of the factors, some villagers decide to leave their own village and move to cities in order to have a better living condition in the future. If I want to mention the most important factor, I will probably say job opportunities. In the modern world with automated farming, there are not enough job opportunities for people in villages. Some years ago, most of the work on farm was done by hand, but today a great deal of farming is done automatically. One machine can accomplish the amount of work that needs several farmers. It can also finish the job in less time. A few years ago, a piece of farm needed at least 4 farmers, but today, by using new mechanical methods, 1 or 2 farmers and workers would be enough. The rest of them need to look for a job somewhere else. I reckon this automation exacerbates the unemployment issue for a number of workers and farmers. And the other point is, working in a village is very difficult and young people don't like it. As I said, most of the villagers are farmers, and farming is a physically difficult job. Previous generations have continued their grandparents' job and become a farmer, but today's young generation do not want to be a farmer for the rest of their lives. They might think it is not prestigious enough. They prefer to have an easier job with more income. So they leave their own village and move to cities where they can find a nice job which is not so tiring and have a higher prestige for them. Let's still stay on the young generation. These days, education is a very important part of their lives, but villagers do not have access to educational centers like institutes and universities. So they have to move to cities if they want to be able to continue their education. Sometimes they leave their families and move alone, but sometimes their families prefer not to leave their child alone, so they move with them. But this migration is endless because their education continues for several years and they might find a job after that. So chances are they stay in city forever. And penultimate, the fourth of the fifth is parents' encouragement. Living condition in the village is very difficult. People there are dealing with many problems like difficult jobs and lack of some basic services like schools, hospitals, shopping centers, and stuff like this. The parents who grew up in these difficult situations do not want their children to spend the rest of their lives fighting with these problems. So they send their children to cities so that they can make a better future for themselves and have a more comfortable life in the future. And the other point that could attract thousands of villagers to cities is the fascination and beauty of the city. Villages are very beautiful and quiet places to live, but the attraction of the cities is undeniable. Shopping centers, beautiful amusement parks, wonderful cinemas, attractive restaurants, and the amazing style and prestige of an urban life can draw many families from villagers to big cities. They might have no problem with living in the village, but they prefer to live in a more fantastic world. So they freely decide to lose their own peaceful and relaxing life in the village and achieve the prestige and fascination of an urban life.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Well, the first issue would be for migrants. Living in a city is completely different from living in a village. Villagers who migrate to cities are not familiar with the living condition in the city and they may face many problems there. For instance, in the village they used to drive in a way that was suitable there and they can never actually drive the same way in cities. Or they used to deal with neighbors in a certain way that is not acceptable in cities. Since they are kind-hearted people by nature, some opportunists may want to abuse them. No, living in a village is originally based on trust and kindness. However, this style of life isn't working in cities at all. I believe this unfamiliarity may bring many difficulties for them and their families. And the other bad result for cities in this case is overpopulation. Cities have limited capacity. When too many people from small towns and villages move to cities, overpopulation becomes a serious issue there, especially when they want to look for a job to continue their lives. As these villagers have no special expertise and haven't done any job but farming before, they have to do any job that is available for them. Sometimes they have to do a very difficult job with low income, and sometimes they're forced to do some illegal and dangerous jobs like selling drugs. This can also make urban planners want to acclimatize the infrastructure of the city, not only to education and employment, but also to housing problems. Because the majority of people who migrate from countryside to cities end up with nowhere to live. They cannot buy, they cannot rent, so they have no choice but to build their own community somewhere near the place that is completely off the grid. This one could bring a real headache to urban planners. To summarize, urbanization occurs due to a variety of different reasons like job opportunities, education, the fascination of the megacities, or even difficult jobs in villages. However, when it happens massively, it can face the city with new challenges that could cause many problems for migrants first and damage the harmony of the city. Thank you guys for being with me for another video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you would like, and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me and I would really appreciate it if you do it right now. It makes me want to make more videos about new ideas. Thank you again. Until next time, live like a hero.